Right, guys, it's Luke. Welcome to the second week of the second season of the Hoenn Draft League, the HDL. Following on from the first week, battling against Maui Goomba and the Binghamton Torracats, where we lost 2-0. I'm not going to say we were unfortunate to lose because that would be doing a massive disservice to Maui, who, you know, end of the day, he won. He outplayed me and he won, so I'm not going to take anything away from him there. But I think that there were definitely some positive signs from that battle for us. I think I was saying in the battle for the first half, first two thirds, I think we were quite well in control. We kept momentum well. We made a few good plays, and things were looking good for us. Obviously, it fell apart in the end because I think I just got a little bit not overconfident, but I got a bit lax. Obviously, the calcs messed me around a lot, which is my own fault. So I definitely lost the battle. Like it was my own fault that I lost the battle. But I think there's some promising signs to take forwards from that battle, is what I'm saying, and hopefully we can take that form into this second week. We are facing the Los Angeles Lucarios today. Got my team just up on the screen now. We've got Naganadel, Clefable, Excadrill, Landorus Incarnate, Sandaconda, Mega Baneeette, Mantine, Incineroar, Vileplume, Electabuzz, and Primeape. Not going to talk too much about my team, just because I probably did that last week. But yeah, that's just a little reminder of our team. If we go and press, I believe, this button, there we go. We are up against the Los Angeles Lucarios, who have got Dragapult, Sylveon, Nidoking, Greninja, Pyukumuku, Megalophony, Leavanny, Celesteela, Rotom-Heat, Avalugg, and Oricorio. I don't want to say that not a lot on this team scares me. But I think that with my team, we've got answers to a fair few of his threats. I'll tell you the one Pokemon that does worry me more than anything, and it's probably going to be a little bit silly that it does. I've just seen the way that it plays, and I hate it. That would be the Pyukumuku. Absolutely want nothing to do with that. If he doesn't bring Pyukumuku on, I'm a happy man instantly. I think it's the one Pokemon that's really impossible to plan for. You can't even set up on it because it's got Unaware, and that's going to be a real pain. Other Pokemon that scare me, Nidoking. I probably have answers to it in my draft, but in the team that I've selected for today, don't really have too much for it. If it's fully special set, I've got an answer. If it's a fully physical set, I can probably cope with it. But if it's a fully special set with a Thunderbolt or an electric move, that is when I get a bit worried, which probably hints as to what one of my picks is for this week. Past that, Dragapult, like his offensive threats, stuff like Dragapult, stuff like Greninja, they don't really worry me too much. It's more stuff like the Pyukumuku, like Megalophony doesn't scare me too much. The Pyukumuku does, and Celesteela worries me a lot because obviously you don't know what it's going to be, whether it's going to be a defensive variant or a setup offensive. And the Rotom-Heat is kind of scary for me as well. So here we've got Aghanim, the Mega Baneeette, as our first pick. Basically, last week it put in so much work that I didn't expect it to. Like, that attack stat with Poltergeist is just, it's lethal. And I was looking at a lot of his team, and this basically two hit KOs a lot of his team. I couldn't not bring it. Got the Gunk Shot just for coverage, really. Helped with the Sylveon. But also mainly, if I move on to the next move, we've got Destiny Bond, which is just there for prankster Destiny Bond shenanigans. I've got to bear in mind, I've made a note of it in my notepad, in all capital letters, Destiny Bond does not affect Greninja. I've got to bear that in mind. But other than that, it can help against the Dragapult, it can help against anything that's set up against me. That'll be good. And then we've got the Skill Swap as well, which is a move that I don't see very often. It swaps with your ability with the target. This is basically to shut down and counter a Megalophony. Obviously, we'll get Prankster, so we'll outspeed it. We'll use the skill swap. Megalophony loses the scrappy ability. It's going to go for a high jump kick, or in return, if it goes for the high jump kick, it'll miss me, take 50% damage. If it goes for the return, it doesn't do any damage to me. And that's mainly why I've got the Gunk Shot there, is otherwise I'd love to run Taunt to shut down the Pyukumuku. And I might even get rid of the Destiny Bond for the Taunt, because I think from seeing his battle in the first week, he uses a lot of status, a lot of stall. If I can Taunt some of those Pokemon, that would be beneficial for me. So I've got to weigh up what's more important, Destiny Bond or Taunt. I'm still going with Destiny Bond at the moment, but that might change before the battle. Gunk Shot, sorry, is that just there for coverage, but also because if I do end up one-on-one with this Megalophony, and if I do take away its Scrappy, I still can't hit it with Poltergeist. I did. Next up, we've got Naganadel, the Naganadel. This thing, I was very torn between either a Focus / Dragon Dance set or just a Choice Scarf set. Basically, I needed the extra speed just to take on the Dragapult. After that, we can kind of sweep. Obviously, Draco Meteor lowers our special attack by 2, but we've got a higher special attack stat than a speed stat, which means that Beast Boost will raise our special attack, so we can probably get 2 Draco Meteors off safely for one of them KOs. On top of that, we've got Sludge Wave and Fire Blast. Nothing on his team wants to take one of those 3 hits. So if I can predict well, say if he's got Sylveon out, I go for the Fire Blast, predicting the Celesteela, stuff like that. We can work around it. Got this much 84 speed EVs taken up to 299, which I believe, if I just get up my little notepad here, that means it outspeeds a Choice Scarfed Rotom plus any non-scarfed Mons. I don't know if he's going to predict a Choice Scarf Naganadel and go Choice Scarf Dragapult. If he does, fair play to him, he's out-prepped me. There's not much that I can do to let Naganadel outspeed a Choice Scarf Dragapult unless I've got like 2 Dragon Dances up on another set, but I'm not going to do that. So I've just got to hope that his Naganadel and potentially his Greninja aren't scarfed. But if they are scarfed, we can work around that, switching between various walls. Next up, we've got the Excadrill. I just wanted a Stealth Rock set, a Rapid Spin. I was tempted to bring like a Sandrush set, but I think that Mold Breaker is just too important to take out that Rotom. We've got just enough speed EVs, again 299, just like with Naganadel, but that means it outspeeds a Rotom. If I end up one-on-one with it, obviously just hit Earthquake. If it's got like a Focus Sash or something, or if it's Choice Scarfed, then we adapt. Iron Head just there for general stab coverage as well. Next up, we got the Clefable. This set was actually made before I realised the Pyukumuku got unaware. This was basically just because I wanted at least one Mon with setup, just so I could set for free on the Pyukumuku. But obviously Pyukumuku does get unaware, so Clefable becomes a little bit less reliable in that case. But we still got the Calm Mind setup set. Got Magic Guard, which is obviously, again, Pyukumuku. He's going to Toxic Storm me. Magic Guard is going to be really, really vital with that. On top of that, most of his team, if I just bring up his team for myself again, Dragapult can be physical or special, but you see it mostly special. Greninja special, Rotom special, Nidoking mostly special, can be physical but mostly special. Celesteela can be either, Sylveon special. So I think that if I do manage to get a Carmine or even 2-up, that'll really, really raise our special bulk and it'll help us. We've got Soft Boiled for the reliable recovery and we've got fully defensive bold investment. Next up we've got the Mantine. This thing with full special defense investment, 252 calm nature. It can eat a lot of hits. It can eat anything a special Nidoking can throw at it, unless it's got the Thunderbolt. Same with the Greninja. If it doesn't have the hidden power electric, we're great. It can even live a Volt Switch from a Rotom, and it's looking really, really good for me. I was tempted to bring a Defog just to make sure I get the hazards off, but I've got the Rapid Spin in Excadrill. So stick with this. Toxic, just try and get my own stalling off. Toxic Protect. Protect isn't just there for toxic stalling, it's also there to scout out for choice items and scout out for the aforementioned Thunderbolt and Power Electric, stuff like that. And Roost obviously just for reliable recovery. Heavy Duty Boots because it's never nice to have a wall that takes 25% damage when it switches in, so that should help me out. And also the Water Absorb is going to really help against the Greninja. If Greninja doesn't run Hidden Power Electric, this thing can just beat it one-on-one with the Toxic Protect Roost. Like I've got no doubt about that. Which is why I say a lot of his like offensive threats don't worry me too much in this team. I think I've got answers for them. But if he runs like a proper stall set like he did in week 1, I don't think I've got enough to beat that out. Vileplume is next. This thing, it's got bulk on both sides. I've EV'd it enough in defense that it lives 2 hits from a return from a Jolly Mega Lopunny. This thing obviously doesn't function as like a Mega Lopunny counter particularly, or not like a physical wall. It's not like a dedicated switch-in, but it's if the situation demands it, it's definitely going to be good enough for it. Leech Seed there just for a bit of chip damage and longevity. Synthesis, obviously, reliable recovery, I like that. And the Aromatherapy is why I'm not going with the Heal Bell on Sheer the Clefable. Sludge Bomb just for a bit of damage. It was either Sludge Bomb or Giga Drain, but the only thing that Sludge Bomb doesn't affect really is Celesteela, and Giga Drain's obviously doing nothing to Celesteela as well. If I do come up on one with the Celesteela, we can just Leech Seed up against it. It's not going to 2-hit KO us with any moves. and I think that we're looking quite good on that front. Effect Spore might be quite fun as well. Yeah, I mean, if I had more of a dedicated switch to a Megalopony, then I would get rid of the skill swap and go for the taunt on Mega Baneeette. But I just see some viability with skill swap. Like not even just against the Megalopony. If we can get a skill swap off on a Beast Boost, Celesteela, and kill it, that would be hilarious. But yeah, that is the team as it's looking so far. And when you next see me, we'll be cutting straight to the battle. Okay, so we're just waiting for him to accept the challenge now. Ugh. I hate this bit. I get so nervous during this bit of the battle. This bit of the battle is the really start of the battle. Yeah, if he doesn't bring Pyukumuku, I can breathe a sigh of relief. If he doesn't bring Nidoking, breathe a sigh of relief. Past that, I haven't really discussed Leavanny and its potential for sticky webs, which is another reason why I wanted the rapid spin on the Excadrill. If I see Leavanny, I'm not going to be too worried. Pokemon that I want to see, like if he brings Oricorio, fair play to him. Megalopony, I think I've got enough answers for it. Dragapult, I think I've got enough answers for it. And Greninja, like those three are obviously his main three offensive threats, I would argue. If he brings any of them, I'm going to be obviously worried to some degree, but not too worried. Should we go on Strength Sap with Vileplume? Maybe. Maybe, but I think my last game against Maui made me realise that Strength Sap is really good for like 1 or 2 turns, but it doesn't offer longevity. And I think against a stalling team like I'm expecting, I probably want more longevity than just stopping the attack. Oh, here we go. Here we go. He brings the Oricorio. Why does he bring the Oricorio? That's the electric one, right? Like, what does that have for me? He brings the Oricorio. Why has he brought that? I suppose, is that his answer to Mantine? I suppose if that's a special threat of his, then I don't have too much of an answer for it, I guess. So, fair play to him. He does bring the Pyukumuku. Not what I wanted to see. But we got no Nidoking. I'll take that. God, what's he leading off with? Maybe Greninja for spikes? Maybe Greninja for spikes. Do we just go straight away with Tiny? Go for the Stealth Rocks? Is Oricorio his... Oricorio... Defog. It learns Defogs, because... I don't think any of his team, unless I'm mistaken, I don't think any of his team get hazard removal, so maybe that's what Oricorio is there for. But if that's his hazard remover, I kind of want to just lead off with Excadrill, get the rocks up. We got save switches for any of his threats that he wants to send out. Or we could go into Naganavez and just U-turn out for initiative, but that's going to reveal that we're Choice Scarfed, and I don't know if I want to reveal that just yet. I should have brought Taunt. I really should have brought Taunt. I think lead off with Tiny. We just get our rocks up. What's he going off with? Dragapult. I mean, this thing can have like a Fire Blast or something, right? Is it worth just getting our rocks up now? I don't think so. I think that we probably predict the Fire Blast. We should have gone Focus Sash. Really should have gone Focus Sash. If we just go into these calcs. Hey, look, he's back with his calcs. If we're up against a Dragapult, let's just call it like... I just want something with Fire Blast for my calcs. It doesn't KO. Earthquake might be quite fun here. I think I'm just going to go get my rocks up. He goes for the U-turn. He's probably Scarfed then, right? Oh, I don't want this Pyukumuku to be on my screen right now. Alright, it's also really useful to bear in mind that that Dragapult is probably Scarfed, which means that it can take out Naganavez, and there's no way that I can... Oh, I should have gone for the Dragon Dance. Or a variant that gains speed upon KOs. What's he going to want to do? He's not going to toxic. Like, I'm going to have a quick look. I just showed off my OU team there. Pyukamuku. What kind of things can you do to me? He could set up his screens right now. Or he could taunt. I think he's going to set up his screens, probably. I should have brought defog. I think we just go get a Leech Seed. Just let him do what he wants to do. He's going to get up his screens. That's probably fine. Oh, we could have set up with Fable as well. Obviously, he's got the Unaware, but can probably PP stall him. Oh, maybe not actually. If he's got his screens, PP stalling might be quite difficult. Either way, I've got no regrets going for this Leech Seed right now. It's going to help us scout out whatever he wants to switch in. Ugh. Yeah, this thing gets taunt, right? Did I just see taunt? It does get taunt, but obviously it doesn't outspeed us, so that doesn't worry me too much. He's going to go into the Celesteela. If we can land this Leech Seed, that's beautiful. He's got the lefties, which is important to note. His Celesteela. Let's just say the. Let's just say. Oh, no, not Celebi. Jesus, I was like, what is that doing so much? Celesteela. If it's got a flamethrower, if it's a defensive set, it's not 2-hit KOing. We can. What am I doing here? We can synthesis up. I think we probably just synthesis up just to scout out. He could go for his Autotomize, which wouldn't be very nice. I think Mr. Ray also walls him quite well. I don't know if he gets any kind of electric moves. Isn't it good when you prep for your opponents mid-battle? No, I don't see any electric moves there. Gets Shockwave. Is he bringing Shockwave? We can protect up just to see. I'm going to go into Mr. Ray. He's probably going to Autotomize. No flamethrowers, beautiful. That's really, really nice. At this point, thank you for the support crafting, but I am unfortunately I'm going to mute you. Can Scald try and get a burn, or we can Toxic predicting the switch, or we can protect to see if he's running the Shockwave. How much would his Shockwave be doing based on his flamethrower? So he's probably got this kind of a set. How much is Shockwave doing to me? Still absolutely nothing. So yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna Scald or Toxic. I'm gonna Toxic. Goes into the Oricorio. Heavy duty boots, that's absolutely fine. He's probably gonna defog here. Tempted to go out into Tiny, predicting the defog and just getting the rocks back up. I don't know if this thing wants to do too much to me. Let's just go into an Oricorio, call it the electric one. Like, he's not doing much. He's not doing much of anything. I probably should have bought Wish Support thinking about it, but I could protect to see if he's going for the electric move, or I could just switch straight into Tiny. Volplim can probably take it, but might not want to. Yeah, I think we go straight out into Tiny. I know he's going to defog. There it is, but it does allow us to just get our rocks back up. Could probably also hit it with an Iron Head. I know it's resisted, but I don't see Oricorio. Is it the Pom-Pom one, I guess? Its Hurricane is doing absolutely nothing to... Yeah, none of that's doing anything. Iron Head isn't doing too much either, and this thing does get Roost. Well, he's not going for the electric move, so we could switch out back into Mantine. I think we're going to do that. I think I'm going to switch out back into Mantine, because he's not going for the electric move. He brings out Celesteela. We know that we win this matchup, so I guess we can just go for a Scald here, right? Either the Scald, I think it's, yeah, we know that Shockwave isn't doing anything if it does have it, so I'm going to go for the Scald. If we can get Burn off, that'd be really nice. We can't, he goes for the Leech Seed himself. Not best play on my part, but it's good to know what kind of set this is. And also, I believe, how much is a Flamethrower doing to the Volplume from the Celesteela? Because I'm assuming it's this, yeah, it's not Tuico, and we can get the Leech Seed up on this thing, so I think that Amorphophallus is going to be our switch. I'm really excited to see how Mantine does in this battle. I know that when I drafted him, I think it's going to be really good. It gets reliable recovery, gets defog, and it's got really good special bulk. I was quite happy with the pickup. I know that when I picked him up, not a lot of other people rated the pick. So, so I'm hoping that this battle and battles forthcoming will sort of show him to be a good pickup. At this point, Oricorio, what are you doing? It's got the pom-pom set, let's call it Calm Mind. Hopefully it's not Calm Mind. God, that Hurricane does a lot. I'm tempted to go for the Aromatherapy just to... that Hurricane is doing a lot. I didn't prep for the Oricorio. I don't think that's really an oversight on my part either. Like, who would prep for the Oricorio? I can't let this thing take damage though. Like, who's switching in? I mean, Nagnavez is not switching in. Mantine can switch in, but then obviously we're risking the electric move. Tiny can switch in, but not do too much back. Clefable can kind of switch in. Mega Baneeette doesn't either. I also kind of want to rack up the toxic damage a bit, so looking off those calcs, it's either going to be Mr. Ray or it's going to be Sheer. He's not going for the electric move. There's not a chance he's going for the electric move. So I think we just go straight back out into Mantine if he goes for the electric move. He goes for the U-turn. Okay. Defog U-turn. So I'm guessing the other two moves are going to be the two stabs, which means no roost. Or he's got the roost and he's lacking one of the stabs. I need to figure out very quickly which stab he's going to be lacking in that case. Because if he's lacking electric, then Mantine walls him, and if he's lacking flying, then Vileplume walls him. If he's not lacking either, then we can toxic stall him. So that's quite nice to know. It's a concerning mon. Would have been really nice if I brought Sandaconda. It's a concerning mon for sure, but yeah, I think that we can work around in early stages of the game. Ugh, just going to turn the heater on because I'm freezing again and I've got my nervous shakes. Oh, that Pukamuku, man. Dragapult comes out. I'm tempted to just protect. Dragapult. Surely you get some kind of electric moves, right? Yeah, you get Thunderbolt. And you're probably rocking Thunderbolt if you know that Mantine is my dedicated special wall. I could go for the Protect to scout it, but I don't want him to reveal a setup. I don't think he's going to be set up because I do believe he's going to be Choice Scarfed. So in that case, I'm going to Protect up. I'm just going to scout, see what he wants to do. Yeah, he wants to go for the U-turn. I'm going to say that he's Choice Scarfed, so I'm just going to go for a quote-unquote safe Scald. We could Roost up, I guess, but I don't see that. I could have gone into Naganavez then, actually. That would have been really nice. Oh, that would have been really nice. I've got to think out my turns a bit more. He's going out into the Pom-Pom. He's going to get the Scald off. Now we're going to Protect again. See what this thing wants to do. I don't think it's going to be too threatening to me. I've revealed 3 of my moves. Well, I haven't revealed the Roost, but that's kind of obvious that I've got it. We're wearing the Oricorio down, which is really nice. Okay, he's got the Roost. He's got the Roost, which means that he's lacking one of his stabs. He's lacking one of his stabs. Is it going to be the electric or is it going to be the flying? I think looking at his team, Mr. Ray is more important to me than Amorphophallus, so we're just going to go into Vileplume and see what he's got. He's got the electric stab. He doesn't have flying stab. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. This is a safe leech seed onto anything. He doesn't have the Hurricane. I'd probably rather him have had the Hurricane than the Revelation Dance, but yeah, I'm definitely happy that he doesn't have flying stab. At the moment that thing gets down below 25% health as well, obviously I'm going to try and get Stealth Box back up. I cannot believe he brought the Oricorio. If that thing, like, to be fair, it could still put in a lot of work against me. So like I'm not knocking his pick. I'm just like genuinely surprised by it. That's what I love about draft formats, is bringing Pokemon that you wouldn't usually expect to see. I guess I've done the same with Mega Baneeette. Yeah, if he can make use out of Lucario throughout the season, fair play to him. I absolutely love that. He knows he's getting leech seeded right now, right? I think he knows that. Just which Pokemon does he want to take it? He wants to go into the Greninja. Leech Seed up there is quite nice, up to nearly full health. His Greninja, right. What are you doing to Vileplume? Because Dark Pulse is doing a fair bit. If you've got the Ice Beam, which you probably do, an Ice Beam isn't a one-hit KO, so I'm tempted to go for the Synthesis, like a relatively safe Synthesis. That's a Choice Specs variant as well. Obviously this thing isn't Battle Bond. I probably should have mentioned this off the top. This Greninja is not Protean. It has to be Torrent. I mean, if a Choice Specs Greninja is doing that much, I think that we can relatively safely just Synthesis up, just Scout out. He could try and pull the double as well, which I would not mind. My other thought is just going straight back out into Mr. A, because Mr. A can take anything, right? Mr. A can take absolutely anything. That's Choice Specs as well. I think we go into Mr. A. He's going to go for the Ice Beam. Did 17%, which leads me to believe that you are not Choice Specs. Let's give you no item. Are you modest? You're not even modest. You did 17.2% damage then. Oh, literally, Life Orb was revealed there. Pay attention. Right. So if your Life Orb Timid. It's a Life Orb Timid Greninja. I think we probably just protect, just to make sure he doesn't have the Hidden Power Electric. He doesn't have the Hidden Power Electric. That's really nice to know. Alright, this Mantine's beginning to annoy my opponent. I wouldn't be surprised if Sylveon is rocking a Toxic right now. We can Aromatherapy off the Toxic, so I'm tempted to try for it. Can also protect up to see what the Sylveon's going to do. Let's just go. If it said Choice Specs, it's still. I'm tempted to protect again, protect or roost. Protect, roost, or Vileplume. Those are my three options. I think I want to keep the health up on this thing, so I kind of want to roost. If we get Toxic, then we get Toxic. Oh, that's absolutely fine. I'm guessing that this guy didn't really plan for the Mantine, particularly. I kind of want to just go straight back out into Amorphalis. We know that we can live a Flamethrower. He goes for the Leech Seed, that fails, that's nice. The Flamethrower, we're living, we are getting off a Leech Seed, that's quite nice. Oh, at this point, doesn't Nagnavez do anything? He wouldn't be expecting that call, that's for sure. If you go out into Celesteela, what are you doing to a Nagnavez? Heavy Slam's doing a lot. Is he going for Heavy Slam? Words. Is he going for Heavy Slam on me potentially? We could just go straight back out into the Mantine. Excadrill does not want to switch in. Could also go into the Mega Baneeette. Could go into the Mega Baneeette. I think if he Heavy Slams though, I can't risk taking big damage on one of my big players. So honestly, I think Mantine just comes out again. He goes for Flamethrower, which is annoying because that means that I could have gotten off a Nagnavez play. But even up against Mantine, his Heavy Slam is not doing. He's doing nothing to the Mantine, which suggests that he's going to switch out. Do we go for the? I either go for the Toxic. He's definitely switching. I either go for the Toxic on the switch, but then if he brings in the Lucario, we're kind of back to square one. Or we bring out the Nagnavez on the switch and do some damage. Because if I get a free switch, I kind of want to switch into an offensive mon just to get a bit of offensive presence into the game. So at this point, do we go into Mega Baneeette? I think we go into Mega Baneeette. Oh, also I forgot to know he doesn't have the Megalophony, which means the skill swap is useless, which is really annoying because that means that I could have gone for the Taunt. He's definitely switching. He's definitely switching. The Pukamuku just really worries me. That's the thing. That's why I'm going out into Vileplume right now. He's not switching. He's going for the Leech Seed. Okay, so we're just wearing this thing down. That's quite nice. That's quite nice. I think at this point we predict the switch and just go for the Leech Seed. No, he goes for the Flamethrower. Again, the Flamethrower doesn't really worry me too much because we can just synthesis up the damage. Like, even without synthesizing, we make up a lot of that damage. We reveal the synthesis. We've only revealed the Leech Seed. So at this point, we just keep going for Leech Seeds, right? He's going for the Flamethrower again. He's probably thinking that he can wear me down one-on-one. I'm now going to reveal the Aromatherapy, just so that he knows that he cannot beat me one-on-one. If he gets a crit here, that would be hilarious. I've called it now, it's going to happen, isn't it? If he gets a crit Flamethrower here, he will actually take me out. Maybe playing with a little bit of fire here. No pun intended. Come on. Okay, good. Good. No, I hit Aromatherapy. I was meant to hit Synthesis. Oh. Well. You get one misplay a game, right? That was mine. Oh, that one kind of hurts. That one really kind of hurts. So this Dragapult is 100% Choice Scarf, right? 100% Choice Scarf. If it's Choice Scarf, it's not KOing, right? Is that what I'm reading? If it's a modest Choice Scarf, it's not KOing with anything. I still think Sheer is probably the safe switch. Or do we go for Synthesis? I cannot believe I hit Aromatherapy instead of Synthesis. I cannot believe that. And I've revealed the Aromatherapy, which is not as bad, but it's still quite bad. Or the Mantine might be a switch. If it's special, the Mantine is a switch. If it's physical, Mantine is not a switch. So let's play that game. To be fair, can we just stay with Vileplume and live anything? We can stay with Vileplume and live anything. Oh, that's risky. That's risky, though. I could probably do some calcs to figure out if this thing U-turn did 12.3% to an Excadrill. If we give this thing U-turn, give it a Choice Scarf. Cool. So it's not. I just need to really think about maths here, right? And then if you are, sorry, I'm not like speaking through my thought process at the moment. I'm just kind of like doing it in my head. Right. So this thing is special based off the U-turn damage on. Right, based off the U-turn damage on the Excadrill, this thing is special, and if this thing is special, that means that Mr. Ray switches in. Am I right? I'm right. Beautiful. Beautiful. At this point, a free Toxic could be nice. A free Naganavez switch would be nice. I've really got to take advantage of this now. I've really got to take advantage of this. I misplayed heavily with the, not even misplayed, I misclicked heavily with the Aromatherapy. At this point, this is a really nice turn for me to try and gain back some of that momentum. So he's either going into the Oricorio, in which case we Scald. He's going out into the Celesteela, in which case we Scald. Or we can bring in a more offensive threat, maybe even bring in Naganavez. Aghanim still wants some action as well. I think we go into Aghanim. I don't see him. I mean, he's Choice Scarfed, right? We are 100% certain he's Choice Scarfed. Could also go into Sheer and start setting up. But I think, or we could get our rocks back up. Might be nice to get our rocks. I'm going to get our rocks back up. Goes out into the Oricorio. Or we can go into the Mega Baneeette switch would have been really nice. And I think next time, bear that in mind, next time I come up to that point of the battle, I'm going to go straight into Mega Baneeette. Get some offensive wall breaking presence up. So his Revelation Dance, I believe it was called, is going to do absolutely nothing. That's his only offensive move. We can go straight back into Vileplume here. He's going to go for the Defog, predicting. Oh no. Well, This is still good for me because it just means that I can get some HP back up. This is still good for me. He's going to get his screens up. Honestly, at this point in the battle, it's all very passive damage, so his screens aren't going to worry me too much. It would have been nice to run like a corrosion set on Vileplume. Get rid of his... Was he like play revealed? I can't quite remember. He's going to Baton Pass out, which is beautiful because I believe, unless I'm mistaken, the Leech Seed goes along with the Baton Pass. I believe that's the case. If that is, this is going to be a really nice Baton Pass right now. That's going to benefit me a lot more than him. What's he going to go for? Probably goes for the Greninja, right? It would have been nice to run. On one of my original sets, I did have Protect on this. Yeah, it goes into the Greninja. Look, if we can wear this thing down... I can't believe I clicked aromatherapy before. Right, what did we say about this Greninja? It does have the Ice Beam, which... Did we figure out... Who did the Ice Beam go on to? The Ice Beam did 17.2% to Mantine. That leads me... Oh no, he's Life Orb. Sorry, I forgot the entire thought process there. Right, this thing is Life Orb. So if this thing is Life Orb, what is an Ice Beam doing to Vileplume? 72.8 max. We can Synthesis off that damage, or he's going to U-turn. This is fine. His Greninja, we haven't done any kind of direct damage to it, and it's down at 44%, so that's really nice. This Sylveon now, if it's a subset, that's concerning. We're doing well in the battle so far. We could reveal the Sludge Bomb as our last move. If this Sylveon is a subset upset, then I am very concerned at that point. Otherwise, it's doing absolutely nothing to Vileplume. Why would he switch into it here, though? Because surely he knows... I think we go for the Sludge Bomb, predicting the substitute. He goes to Protect, Scout out. Good move on him. If he's got the Protect, he probably doesn't have the sub, I want to say. So at this point, I'm going to Leech Seed. He's seen the Sludge Bomb. He knows that that's coming. The Sludge Bomb is going to do 38.5% to this, if it's a fully specially defensive one. He might go into the Celesteela predicting that, so I'm just going to go for another Leech Seed. If he goes for the substitute, fair play to you. You've outplayed me there. I don't think he goes for the substitute while I'm going for the Sludge Bomb, because it's just going to break the sub straight away. Yeah, this Vileplume is proving to be a massive annoyance. The Pyukumuku in the back is still worrying me. What's also worrying me is the fact that I do have a lot of the momentum in this battle, and that worries me because I did last week as well. Alright, Pyukumuku. Got the Leech Seed up on it, so it can't really Baton Pass out and worry me too much. It's got the Reflect, which seems to hint that it's probably going to have the Light Screen as well. What else might you have? Memento would be beautiful. Please go for Memento, just so I don't have to worry about you anymore. Pain Split's annoying. It's probably going to have the Recover, right? Or the Toxic. No, it's going to run the Toxic. We do have a Magic God Clayble, which is quite nice. If he's got Screens, Baton Pass... I kind of want to go into Clayble here. Might be quite nice. Could also get my Rocks back up. I'm going to go get my Rocks back up, actually. I also want to find out what this thing's going to go for. Yeah, so he's got the 2 screens, Protect, 2 screens, Baton Pass. His last move is either going to be Recover or Toxic. If he doesn't have Toxic, I'm a happy man. If he doesn't have Reliable Recovery, I'm a happy man. So I'm not too fussed about this Pyukumuku anymore. We're just going to get our Rocks up for free. That's really nice. Yeah, at this point, I guess we just go straight back out without thinking into Amorphophallus. My only worry with Amorphophallus is that my PP is beginning to run out just a little bit. But it's definitely doing enough in these early games. Like I said, it's got so much damage off on Greninja already. He's probably regretting running the Life Orb now. So yeah, looking at this point in the battle, I don't think he's got a setup Mon. Pyukumuku doesn't worry me anymore. Sylveon might not be. Yes, I'm so glad we played that well. Right, we're going straight away for the Leech Seed. Beautiful. Right, now that this thing has got a light screen up, I believe... where's my light screen on this? because as we all know, I fuck up light screen calcs. That's from League a few years ago. Where's the light screen on this? Light screen, there it is, right. So he's got the light screen up, which suddenly means that my Sludge Bomb is not breaking his sub, which is concerning. I don't know if he's going to run Protect and Sub, which makes me kind of want to just go for the Sludge Bomb anyway. If he puts up the sub, I'm not getting around that either way. To be fair, Mantine could probably deal with a +1 Calm-Minded Sylveon, so that doesn't worry me too much. That substitute is going to be annoying though. Unless he's like Toxic Sub. Oh, Toxic Protect. He might be Toxic Protect for a bit of Toxic stalling. If he is, that's beautiful. If he's run Toxic on loads of his Mons, yeah, brilliant. Okay. Okay, so he's Wish Protect. He's definitely not going to be a sub variant. Kind of makes me want to start setting up a Sheer. Kind of makes me... What's Nagnave's going to do while that thing's got light screen up? Christ, that is nothing. Aghanim might be quite nice though. Aghanim might be quite nice here. Aghanim might be really nice here. I'm going to go into Aghanim, I think, and I can just wall break. I'm going to go into Aghanim. Hopefully he doesn't go for... Yeah, he goes for the Heal Bell. Okay. It's a bit annoying with the Oricorio, but we can just get a Poltergeist off and do heavy, heavy damage to something. So let's go through his team. Poltergeist at this range has a 6.3% chance to OHKO. Okay, maybe it's not OHKOing, but with the Leech Seed damage as well, might be quite nice. Obviously, I'm not going to calc the Dragapult, it's going to kill the Dragapult. The Celesteela at this range is going to, after the Rocks damage, nearly get OHKO'd. Greninja at this range gets killed. The Oricorio at this range. The Oricorio. Yeah, we're just going to go straight away for the Poltergeist and hopefully we don't miss. I think it goes down to 59% after the Rocks. Don't miss the Poltergeist. We don't miss the Poltergeist. And, oh, I thought that was going to be a dead. Oh, I thought that was going to be a dead. Right, well, we know that we outspeed this thing, so we can very safely. I'm tempted to go for the skill swap. Get a Beast Boost Mega Baneeette going. I don't think I'm going to do that, though. That's not a clever play. At this point, we do just go for the Poltergeist. It would be a fun play if, I mean, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It would be a fun play. It wouldn't be a clever play. This guy hasn't brought the Mega Lopunny, so skill swap is not useful, and I'm probably never going to click that once. Do we have any abilities that we can steal? No, other than the Unaware on the Pyukumuku, I've got nothing that I really want to steal. So yeah, we're just going to go for the Poltergeist. And there's a 90% chance that we put a lot of pressure on him. There's a 10% chance that we miss the Poltergeist. I think I'm making my turns a bit quicker in this battle as well. I might be wrong on that, but I'm just getting a general sense. It might just be because my opponent is also taking a while making moves, but in my battle last week, when I rewatched Maui's perspective of the battle, I realised just how long I was taking to make my moves, and it must have been annoying for my opponent, so Maui, I do apologise. In this battle, this is a lot more on my speed. It's nice to play a battle and not have to worry about annoying my opponent. Like, I genuinely don't care if he wants to take all the time in the world making his moves, because obviously I do exactly the same, so I'm not going to hold that against him. Yeah, there's not too much to talk about at this point. Okay, here he goes. He goes out, takes the Stealth Rock damage and the Poltergeist. Added less damage than I thought it would. I still think that we outspeed this thing, so we can just keep going for Poltergeists. We're just going to keep going for Poltergeists, I think. He can protect up all he wants. Can he PP stall me? Oh my god, he can PP stall me. That's annoying. I've only just realised the Poltergeist has 8 PP. Yeah, he's just going to PP stall me. I could have predicted that and gone for the gun shot, but yeah, at this point, like, at least one of his Pokemon is going to die to this Mega Baneeette. Unless, obviously, we miss the Poltergeist. I should probably calc. Call this a defensive Sylveon. If he's got Hyper Voice, it's not KOing. Okay. Yeah, Mega Baneeette is a decent pick for me. Obviously, like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's an A tier Mega or anything, but I think with Poltergeist, speed stat is still very lacking, but its speed stat is still gonna, as shown in this battle, its speed stat shows that it's gonna outspeed most walls. So it's never going to function as something that KOs a fast threat, but it can function as a definitive wall breaker, which is really, really nice. Not many walls actually resist the Ghost Stab. Like, you don't really get many like dark type walls or anything. I suppose on normal type walls, stuff like a Miltank or a Snorlax is going to be really annoying if I come up against it. But yeah, maybe I'll actually have to put some background music into this video because I didn't in the last one, mainly just because I know that my microphone doesn't pick up my voice very well, so sometimes my voice does trail off a little bit, and I don't want the background music to drown me out at any point. Also, I think that I'm usually quite good at filling gaps with talking, but I suppose in this battle I am sitting back a little bit more in terms like this, so I might just stick in a bit of background music. There's a little note for editor Luke, who has his work cut out for him because I ramble a hell of a lot. Oh, does his Pyukumuku switch in, actually? He might switch in his Pyukumuku just to try and waste some more of my PP. But even then, Poltergeist is... Did we find out his leftovers? I don't think it is leftovers. Yeah, it's just Kaguya who's got the leftovers, I believe, and the Sylveon. Cool, so I don't think that the Pyukumuku's leftovers. I mean, at this point, all he's got to do is just make a load of switches until I've run out of Poltergeist PP. It might be actually worth bearing in mind for the future if I just run like a backup stab ghost move, like a Shadow Claw or even a Shadow Sneak, just to conserve PP. I'm tempted to go for the Gun Shot because that does heavy damage to most other things, and it can also conserve PP. But I'm going to stick with the Poltergeist. Okay, he's going to go for the Oricorio. It's really nice that Mega Baneeette gets another KO. It's going to go straight away into the Dragapult. Right, we know this thing is Choice Scarfed. The question is, what move? I mean, choice. Yeah. So we're going to Mr. Ray, right? Because Mr. Ray can just. That's Choice Specs variant. Choice Scarf. How much did the Draco Meteor do before? Did 29.2%, and we can recover that off. So yeah, we're just going to go straight into Mantine. He gets the Shadow Ball. Oh, he gets the Special Defense drop, which is a little bit annoying. So the Shadow Ball did 18.5%, which definitely does line up. It's annoying that he got that Special Defense drop, but he's still absolutely not KOing, so we can just roost off this damage. Hopefully he doesn't get a second Special Defense drop, because that's when it'll get quite annoying. But does he get the second one? No, he doesn't. That's really nice for me. At this point, so he's doing about 30% with these, which means that we can live 2, which means that we can get a Toxic off, which I think I am just going to click the Toxic. I probably shouldn't. I should probably roost, right? No, I'm going to get the Toxic off, because we can live 2, so we can get the Toxic off on this one, and barring any special defense drops, we can then roost up the next turn. If we get a special defense drop, then we can just switch into something that can take a Shadow Ball, maybe like a Clefable. Maybe we can even start setting up Calm Minds. Hopefully no special D drop. He doesn't get it. We get the Toxic, and then on this turn, I guess we just Protect, actually. Get a bit of Protect damage off. Or do we Roost? My only worry here is that he critical hits, but no, we do the Roost, which is a really nice move. He's got to Wish at this point, right? He's got to either Wish or Protect. How much damage are we doing to this Sylveon offensively? Scald is not doing enough. At this point, he's either protecting or he's wishing. Wishing he wasn't in this matchup, were you? I'm gonna go straight back out into a Morphophallus, and I'm just gonna get a Leech Seed off. I think that's my play. I was tempted then, yeah, there goes the Protect. We all knew the Protect was coming. Yeah, he's going to Wish again. Just get that Leech Seed off. I'm running out of PP on Leech Seed, which is quite annoying. I was going to say I was tempted to go into Mega Baneeette at that point and just start up the pressure again, but I am a bit worried about my Poltergeist PP. I've really got to keep an eye on that. At this point, I guess we just go for the Sludge Bomb or a second Leech Seed, predicting the switch into the Celesteela. If he's switching into the Celesteela, that is annoying. He wants to deal with Celesteela. I'm going to go into Clefable, right? Yeah, we all knew the Celesteela was coming out, and he's going to Wish that back up. I'm going to go into this because I only know 2 of his moves, and if he's got the Heavy Slam, I'm going to want to know, because if this thing does have the Heavy Slam, he's going to be doing more than a 2-hit KO. So I want to see if he's got the Heavy Slam. My safe switch into the Heavy Slam, or to Celesteela in general at this point, is the Mantine yet again. Or the... I really want to know what move. I really want to see the Heavy Slam, but who not only eats it better, but who comes back at him again? Because my only 2 switches are very defensive. My answer would obviously be the Leech Seed on the Amorphophallus, but I'm now getting a little bit cautious about PP. Because the Heavy Slam, what's it doing to Vileplume? It's still doing... Yeah, I think, no, let's be clever. My switch is the Mantine. He shows me the Heavy Slam. That's really nice to see. A burn on this thing would be nice. If we can burn this thing, then Clefable can set up all over it. But also, nothing is toxic at the moment apart from... I think we go for the Scald. Hopefully get the burn. Show me the burn. That burn would have been so nice. Oh, that's annoying. That is annoying. But anyway, we can go straight away into the Vileplume. He goes for the Heavy Slam. Doesn't do enough. We can just Leech Seed up. Oh, that crit. Oh, and he gets a crit burn on the Flamethrower. Okay. Panic Stations just a little bit. If he brings out the Pyukumuku, we can Synthesis up. But other than that, we have now... Oh, we've now lost a lot of viability. We've lost a lot of viability. We could also go into Naganavez here and just click a Fire Blast. That's really, really not nice. That's really not nice. I want to go for the Roost. I know he's going to set up the Leech Seeds. Alright, we get the burn on the Sylveon, which is not what anyone wanted. At this point, he goes for the Wish, right? With Clefable, how many Calm Minds would I need to set up to... How is Fire Blast doing so little damage to this thing? I'm a little bit concerned at this point. It's like I said in the last battle, I was in control up until a point. I feel like we're hitting that point again in this battle. That crit burn less so, but the crit on that Flamethrower was really, really not nice for my Vileplume. And I suppose you just go straight back out into Aghanim and hope he doesn't go for the Hyper Voice. Okay, now we're looking a bit better. Now we're looking a bit better because as we have seen, Poltergeist at this range, Poltergeist at this range should do some good damage. At this point, I'm tempted to skill swap. I will very much admit I'm very tempted to skill swap. But we're just going to stick straight away with the Poltergeist. If Pyukamuku's is switched, then we can just bring Vileplume out, heal that thing back up. I really want to goad the Pyukamuku to come out, to be honest. I really want to goad that. If we can get a Toxic off on the Pyukamuku, that thing does not worry me even slightly. Pyukamuku's got to be a switch, right? Because again, let's do the maths. Sylveon, if he switches, it dies. Greninja dies. This thing dies if he stays in. That thing dies. So his switch has got to be Pyukamuku. Or he stays in with this thing. It doesn't KO. And the Heavy Slam comes in. Okay. Still we hit Poltergeist. This thing is more defensive than I ever thought it would be. On the bright side, though, you can't really switch it in again. We're just going to keep hitting Poltergeists. Could also Destiny Bond here. Greninja comes out. If we hit here, that's the dead Greninja. Good. Good. Alright, this thing comes out. We're just going to go straight away into Mr. Ray. Straight away. I guess. Because what else is he going to do? Unless he U-turns. If I bring out Mr. Ray, my worry is that he U-turns, goes straight into his Celesteela and puts some pressure on me. Because even though Vileplume would, because if this, no, I'm not gonna second guess myself. We're gonna go straight away into Mantine. We can, because he's gonna go for the U-turn here, right? No, he goes for the Shadow Ball. No special defense drop. Can get Protect off, unless he switches. I mean, surely he switches out at this point, right? Do we just roost up to health, or do we go for the Scald just to get damage off on something? The thing is that Sylveon is not going to want to heal Bell because he'd rather be burned than Toxic. My other thought is Naganavez. Right, so if we call this thing is, no, what am I doing? Choice Scarf. This thing is Choice Scarf. What are you doing to Naganavez? There's not a chance that you stay in at this point, right? There's not a chance that you stay in at this point. So we can either. So I think he's either going to bring in the Celesteela, at which point Scald should KO after Rocks. Scald KOs the Celesteela after Rocks. He could bring in the Pyukamuku, in which case I want a Toxic. I think we're going to Naganavez. He doesn't switch. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, that's annoying. But hey, he now thinks that I'm going to hit the Draco Meteor. He's Choice Scarf, so I'm going to just double straight back out. I'm going to double straight back out into Mr. A. Look, I made a bad play then, but saying that, it is tempting to go for something. So what's my Fire Blast doing? Not enough. Nothing. Okay, cool. Could go into Sheer. Oh, that's a bit of a misplay. Again, I had control up until that point. Thing is, though, Dragapult doesn't want to do anything to Sheer. I think he's just talking to other people that I've muted there. I don't know why you just say yeah out of context. I think we're going to Sheer. I really don't want him to get Celesteela leash seeded back up. Or even worse, wished back up. That would be the worst. I just need a tiny bit more chip damage on Celesteela. Just a tiny bit. What's my Sludge Wave doing to... This thing is not enough. I think we go back out into Mantine. He's still going for the shadow balls, that's good. No defense drops, good. Right. At this point, I think we just roost. We need this thing to be at health. I know he's going to wish up and I know he's going to switch into Celesteela. What can I do with that information? He's not going to hyper voice here, he's going to wish up. He's going to go into Celesteela. Right. I could U-turn, I guess. Like, obviously U-turn's going to do no damage to Celesteela, but is it going to be enough that after rocks it KOs? 2 to 2.5. This thing's, no, it's not going to be enough. It could go into Naganavez, and because up against Sylveon, Sylveon, which I believe is, I mean, what damage have I got? What damage calcs have I got for Sylveon? What damage calcs have I got for Sylveon? Poltergeist did about 59%. So based on that, based on Mega Baneeette, Poltergeist doing 57%, yeah, this defensive set seems like it's going to be the one, as opposed to a more specially defensive set in which Poltergeist would have done that much. Okay, so this thing is physically defensive, and if this thing is physically defensive, then Naganadel still doesn't want to do too much. God damn. Could also bring him off files back up, get it back up to health. Could also, how much is an Iron Head doing to Celesteela? We might be onto something here. An Iron Head from Tiny onto Celesteela is doing enough to KO. I think we go for the Iron Head. Don't second guess that one. Hyper Voice comes in. It's a good job I didn't go into Naganavez. At this point, I could even Rapid Spin just to get the speed boost up, but at that point, I'm still not outspeeding Dragapult. So I'm just going to Iron Head. Pyukumuku comes out. That is something that I should have predicted, but hey, it's fine. It's fine. Because at this point, we can start setting up with Clefable. I want to get a Morphophallus back up. I want to get a Morphophallus back up to health. Or not, because he's just going to go into Celesteela. Well, he can't go into the Celesteela. He's not going into the Celesteela, we know that much. Oh my god, he is. Okay. Well, surely at that point, that means the Celesteela just cannot get wished back up to health. And Vileplume is only here at this point as a Celesteela counter. So at this point, it's tempting to let Vileplume die, because the worst thing that could happen is if this thing gets a Leech Seed up on something. That's the worst thing that could happen. So I think at this point, we Synthesis up in case he misplays. He doesn't misplay, he goes for the Heavy Slam, he gets his defense boost, but that's absolutely fine. You're not a 6-0. Look, honestly, you could still win this. Like, nothing's set in stone at this point. Just go for the Poltergeist. If we miss the Poltergeist and this thing goes to +2 defense, then I'm very concerned. I've definitely got the game in my, like, I'm definitely, obviously, the most advantaged at this point in the game. But my god, there's still room for anything to happen. I'm not going to take anything for granted here. The only thing I'm going to take for granted is the fact that something's going to die on this turn if I hit Poltergeist. If we can get Celesteela out of the way, then I'm extremely happy. Dragapult, I know that I can work around, mainly with Mantine. It's kind of annoying seeing messages like this because I know that there's some fun conversation happening, but I don't need the distraction, and I don't want to mute my opponent just in case. he says something to do with the battle in terms of like, oh, I need to go for a break or be right back or whatever. So I'm never going to be my opponent. It's disrespectful anyway. Mega Baneeette is so good. And I've got a few ideas looking at other teams in the league. I've got a few ideas for more like Prankster fun sets. I'm really annoyed that I didn't get the Prankster skill swap off. That would have been lovely. If I had Prankster Taunt, which is something, I don't know how much I'll edit out, but in my team builder section, I mentioned probably 4 or 5 times how much I wanted to switch out skill swap for the Taunt, and I definitely should have done. Should have switched out the skill swap for the Taunt. Because I would have shut this thing down as well, in terms of the leech seeds, because the only thing that I'm worried about right now is if it gets its health back up. Pyukumuku, hopefully we can hit this. Yes. That's a dead Pyukumuku. Okay. I'm going to keep Aghanim around. Aghanim is the one thing stopping Celesteela and Sylveon from getting back up to health, so I'm going to keep that thing around. I'm going to go straight away into Mr. Yeah, so at that point, he's going to wish up and get his Celesteela back up to health, which is annoying. It's very annoying, but if I know that the wish is coming, then I go into Aghanim, right? If I know that the wish is coming, I go into Aghanim. He's going to wish, right? Surely. And then he protects, I think, knowing that I've got 1 PP left with Poltergeist. That's really annoying. Oh, that's really annoying how I've only got 1 PP left with Poltergeist. I could also skill swap, get rid of its Pixelate, and then switch into Magnavairs, but I don't see that benefiting me in the long run. I'm going to go for the Gunk Shot. Now I've revealed the Gunk Shot, and now he's concerned. So at this point, what are his plays here? What are his plays? I think at this point I still go for the Gunk Shot, right? It's an accuracy check, but like, I imagine Gunk Shot KOs the Dragapult. The Dragapult, which we know is Choice Scarf. Not that really affects this calc, but I want things to be accurate. Up against Mega Baneeette, yeah, the Gunk Shot KOs here. If he goes into the Celesteela on the Gunk Shot, then we can just Poltergeist the next turn. That's fine. Like he can still work his way around this because I've only got 1 Poltergeist left, but momentum's definitely still in my favour. Sylveon, what is my... Yeah, Gunk Shot's definitely... Yeah, Gunk Shot's my move, right? We've still got the Destiny Bond as well, should we need it. Skill swap is not benefiting me. I should have gone Taunt. If I would have gone Taunt, I could have shut down the Sylveon. I could have shut down the Celesteela's Leech Seeds. Could have shut down a Pyukumuku to the point where it could probably only press fucking Struggle. Yeah, he's saying GG. It definitely puts me in a big... Yes, okay, he stayed in. He stayed in, which is beautiful. There were ways that he could have tried to mind game me out of using my last Poltergeist, which he still absolutely can do. But that Sylveon going means that Celesteela's only got 1 switch in left, and the Dragapult being scarfed benefits me. It benefits me. He can't lock himself into Draco Meteor because of Clefable. What else did he reveal? The Shadow Ball. Anything else Mantine can just take on. Right, at this point, go for the Poltergeist, and we hit. Okay, and then at this point, yeah, we just go into Mr. A. Live the Draco Meteor and protect. GG, my dude. Right, there was a couple misplays. There was a couple big misplays. The first one that comes to mind is when I clicked Aromatherapy instead of Synthesis quite early on with Vileplume. That could have been bad, but it wasn't. I'm just trying to think about other misplays that I made. I can't remember off the top of my head. I remember there was one point when I was switching a Pokemon when I should have attacked and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think fair play to Tes. Like you brought some really creative sets, like bringing the Oricorio. No one would have ever expected that. Choice Scarf Dragapult was really clever because that was the one thing that I didn't want to see. because my Naganadel was prepped for everything except that. And Sylveon as a cleric really worked well for you. Pyukumuku I think was too passive for you. But yeah, so I'm just saying that in terms of like fair play to Tes. He brought really good sets. He played really well. But I'm going to give myself credit there because I don't often do this. I think that might be one of my best played battles that I've played. Not one of my best battles in terms of like a massive 6-0 sweep or like a really close like death. I don't know, some kind of like I'm just tripping over my words here. I'm not even going to edit this out. So it's not like a massive 6-0 sweep. It's not like a really close like 1-0, like a really tense battle or anything. But I think just in terms of match control, I think that I played that game really well. I think that in 77 turns, if you don't really give up control at any one point within 77 turns, you've played a good game. 5-0 is really going to benefit me going forwards. And yeah, I think I was going to show you like the league standings and stuff, but I won't do that. I'll wait until later on in the league when that becomes a bit more relevant. But yeah, a 5-0 win for the Bulbs, and we can breathe. See ya.